Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Mdundo Freshout podcast. So basically, what we do here is we highlight and celebrate DJs that are doing incredible and amazing work. We hear their stories, hear their struggles, we listen to their triumph, we talk about music, and we have a good time. And for the first of its kind, the first guest we've ever had, we have an amazing DJ. I mean, like the first time I heard this guy perform, I didn't know anything about him. I just heard, it was just like, who is this DJ? And I feel like we've all had that moment where during a party where the songs are just coming back to back. I'm just like, who is this person? Who's this guy? Who's doing this? And that was how I felt when I first heard him play. And if you're familiar with the Chibi verse or South Socials, you definitely know who I'm talking about. So like, I want to welcome DJ Toh Bahd. So DJ Toh Bahd is someone amazing that has done like incredible work all over Lagos and Africa, and he has done some amazing things. And what I want to do here today is to find out a lot more about him, hear his stories, hear his struggles, hear his triumph, and watch him do his magic. So Toh Bahd. So like I know there is this, usually when they ask like musicians things like, when did you start singing? They'll be like, I started singing in church at 7 years old. Well, I feel like your story might not be like as cliche. I just had that feeling your story is not that cliche. So like what I want to hear is two things. What made you decide, at what point did you decide like, what, this DJ thing here is my bread, is what I need to do, what I want to do. And the second one is, what led to the point of ever getting behind the booth, like ever being, behind the booth? What's the story?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's a funny story. Like you said, people say, oh, they grew up in church. That's not my story. I mean, generally for me, like growing up, I always liked to manipulate music. Like I can listen to a song now and I listen to the beats and I try and, fix my own sound, but those regular things, nothing too serious, right?
I sound regular. I don't do that.
So that's what I'm saying. No, I mean, I like music, right? I feel like you being a DJ, that's like the basic thing. Every other thing is secondary. Like you need to like music. Mm-hmm. That's how you can push it from there, right? So for me, starting from school. So I wasn't in any church. I mean, I'm a Muslim, but like, I wasn't in any church. I wasn't, in any choir or anything. It wasn't like that for me. So I went to University of Lagos, right? And I studied architecture. So you can imagine it's a very, challenging course, right?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. Yes.
So for me, it was like my second year in uni, right? Funny story. I still remember the day, right? We have this course where it's about 4 or 6 units, I'm not sure. And then it's about 4 hours. So we used to have a break just before the course, right? Like, let me go have lunch before I start. And I walked past my classmates. It's funny. His name is Martin, right? We had laptops, because architecture we draw.
Sure. And
then he was playing with this software called Freshout DJ. I didn't know what the name was at that point, I saw it and, I was curious, like, oh, what's that? And it's like, oh, it's a software. He was just fooling around, basically. Oh, can I have it? I'm like, yeah, sure. I put it in a flash drive and, I just let it go. So fast forward a couple of months, I was bored and, oh yeah, I have this on my laptop, right? Let me just, play with it. And I was playing with this thing and it was fun. Like I said, what I liked, initially was I could manipulate the music. So I could mix it how I want, not just how I hear it. And, you go out, listen to a song and that's it. But like, you can manipulate, you can do whatever you want to do, to add effects and stuff. So it was interesting for me. And being a creative, right? I felt like, being in that space of architecture, being a creative, it helped me, so I could put my own thing in that particular song and how I wanted to start, how I wanted to end, And then I started playing with it. So I come from a family where we like to party. Like, we don't need an excuse to party. We just party.
I love it.
Do you understand? So we always have like a New Year party we do. And I was like, we always get a DJ. I told my cousins, what, I'll do it. And they were like, are you sure? Now, their concern wasn't that will I be able to DJ? Their concern was that, are you sure you will be standing there playing the music while we're having fun? And I was like, yeah. And my cousin was like, are you sure? I was like, yeah, I'll do it, And then we got DJ to come. He brought the speakers. And he just gave me a few things to do. And from there, like I said, it wasn't a situation whereby I saw a DJ. I was like, oh, I want to be like this guy. No. Even Toh Bahd, right? It wasn't something I sat down to think about. It was just, we're at the party, like, this DJ is bad, DJ Toh Bahd. Like, it just stuck. And from there, and I come from a family where, in as much as we party, school is very important. So I didn't even think they were going to encourage it, like at any point. And again, I was studying architecture, which is tasking on its own, right?
Did you finish?
Yeah, definitely.
He said definitely.
What?
Obviously, we're not hearing that one, dude.
Definitely. And it's funny because right now, when I hear, up and coming artists, talking about the experiences and the challenges, sometimes I don't like sharing my story because for me, I didn't have that thing where, I had an issue with my parents, or they were fighting me, or, they would chase you out. That's always the stories you
You know what? You're representing people out there that, had the soft life.
Honestly,
I feel like we need to tell these stories.
Honestly, for
they
me,
are
right,
stories.
I feel like, for me, it wasn't like that. My first equipment, my cousins donated money for me, right? I remember my sister, she was earning a particular amount. I'm not going to say, but she literally dropped her 1 month's salary as a part of it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So for me, I had that backing, right? And when you hear stories of people where, they had to struggle on their own, they didn't have the family support. Family support is very important. I feel like not just in terms of monetary support, like your self-esteem as well. So if you have your family backing you, telling you, no one can tell you anything. Like nothing else matters really. So I had that. They doing that for me. Initially, I didn't even think it was going to be something they would like, because obviously DJing, like my family, we have bankers, we have every sector, like they're there.
True.
Would have been the thing where I finished school, you go and look for a job, they'll get you a job. Like it was that, but I liked this thing. So right, for me, the major thing or the breakthrough right for me was, so my cousin, right, he schooled abroad and he used to DJ, but it was just for money. It wasn't so he was getting married, right? This is how everything really started. And he says, oh, I'm going to DJ his wedding. And I'm like, bro, be for real. Like I only had a laptop and I do like small parties, Unilag small parties. And again, being in Unilag, it helps you.
It does, yes.
And it's like, oh, you're going to DJ my wedding. I send my invoice. I was like, is this guy for real? Like, I'm not going to do that. His name is Joel. Like, I'm not doing that. And then a few months, later, he comes again, where's your invoice? This is actually for real. Like, it's some hole on the island, like 1,500 guests. This was 2012.
Wow.
2012.
Sorry, how old were you at that time?
I was 20, thereabouts. Yeah,
oh, wow.
2012. Yeah, I was 20. This was my 2012. I was like my second or third year in uni. And I go with my sister, Join serious. Like, what are we going to do? Are we going to have an invoice? What's going to happen? Say, don't worry. Okay, she will be my manager. Again, these things, nothing was planned, right?
You're just aligning, you're just falling in.
Do you understand?
Like, that's beautiful.
And then we did the wedding here. It was nice. He was having his white wedding in Gambia, which is interesting. Like one of my first weddings international.
Go feud.
Wow. Do you understand?
Wow.
And it's like, you're going to do that as well, But at that time, his wife didn't have to DJ, so she got a DJ there. So, and then I DJed as well. So literally, the next wedding I had was from someone from that wedding. Like she said she went home and she told her friend, oh, I was in Gambia and this DJ, this, that. And that was it. Like literally, I started having, weddings once in like 3 months, 4 months. So like maybe 2 in a month. And now it's every weekend.
Was it around that era that King of Disco became it? When did the term King of Disco
so King of Disco, interestingly, right, is from a song. It's a throwback song, right? I can't DJ Cool E, I think, but basically the line is, I bet you didn't know, but now you know I'm the undisputed, the king of this disco. I just liked it, and it became a thing. And there's this fashion brand called Cash. She used to make stuff for me.
I know Cash.
Cash, right? Cash, exactly. Yeah. So she makes stuff for me, and I started using the name, right, and then she did like a logo design for it, and it's stuck. And I have this friend. Her name is Titi. She's late now. Rest her soul. So like I needed like a tag. And then a female voice, and then she voiced it for me, and I still use it till today. So it became a thing, and I liked it because it was unique, right? So it wasn't like a thing where you see anywhere, and it popped off.
First of all, yeah, shout out Martin for that software. You literally
Matoski, shout out to you, man.
You brought that too much for us, man.
It was by chance. I could have been in my seat. I could have gone to it another time.
Do you know, like exactly. the way things align?
It could have not been on the seat. It could have been doing something else while I passed. So many things, man. Like so many things. And the reason why I stuck with Toh Bahd is I liked it because, again, I feel like if I had sat down and think of a name, it would have been very stressful. And that's why my name everywhere, I don't have any hashtag or any underscore or a number. it's the same thing. That's why I don't even give people my socials, because once you type it out,
it's so easy.
it comes out. It's like an infusion of like Yoruba and English.
And the name just slaps, like it is, man. Like so. I want to ask, in your career so far, okay, was it that wedding? Was it after that wedding you realized that, you know? Okay, no. This is the question actually. What was the events that you played that you knew that? I want to say that you knew that you had arrived in the sense that you knew that this was going to be a consistent way for you to be able to survive and make money, and you know, live.
Okay, so I would say what year? 2015, 2016. So these gigs, they became very regular. And so at a point, right, my mom was still like, you know what? You know, with parents, in as much as they will support, they still felt you needed to have like a 9 to 5. Because it was like, that's all they know, right? You know, all these things is not. So I feel like the gig for me was, so I have this uncle, my mom's elder brother, right? Again, he liked the idea, but it was still skeptical, I know. Because he had never seen me play. So it was at a wedding I DJ'd, right? And he didn't understand what was happening. It was, I was late, the crowd was late, you know, he saw people coming to praise me, and he didn't understand it. It's funny how it doesn't call me by my name is Sadiq, right? It doesn't call me Sadiq anymore. Like since that day, like he believed. And so now our conversations change. It's from before it was, oh, you are done with school now, you need to get a job. It's now it's how it's work, do you understand? You know, so for me, it just became very frequent that I didn't have time to sit down and say, you know what, maybe I should put this on the side and do this as well. Nah, it just kept coming. You know,
this leads to my next question, which is, what is that thing that, you know, you have, you know, now experienced and seen that you did never expect to happen to you, you know, being a DJ or being in entertainment? Or how has, you know, being a DJ or being in entertainment, how has it like changed your life, or how has it like affected you?
So I feel like it has helped me to manage my emotions better, right? Because you know, DJing is, I could go to work, like if I had a 9 to 5 and I'm not in the mood, right, I could be in my desk and I'm working and nobody should disturb me. But you being a DJ, right, you can't do that. You need to be in a certain mood, whether you're angry. I remember one time I was going through a breakup and I was shutting down the event. Just what I'm saying, like, you don't have time to
process.
So it helps you manage your emotions better. And I'm grateful for it. With my emotions, talking to people, that's another thing that's, you know, I'll be more confident talking to people as well, you know, because you meet different people. Like, gigs are very different. It's a mental thing as well. You know, you could play at a wedding today and you're at the club the next day. You're not playing the same thing. It's not the same crowd. You know, so how you interact with people is different. So it has helped me, you know, I'm more confident for sure, you know, and that's something I'm grateful for. I can talk to people. Like, I'm not saying that, you know, I can be an introvert, you know, but like,
when what you have to do.
Exactly. When I'm out, it's, for me, I feel like sometimes it's like an alter ego. When I'm out, like I'm comfortable.
Still bad outside.
Exactly.
At home.
Exactly. So, you know, it's helped me being more comfortable with myself and talking to people and socializing. So that's something I'm happy about.
So, you know, last time during the course of the conversation, I remember you mentioned how you did not have any particular DJ that you saw at the beginning of your career and you're like, I want to be like this. But I would say, you know, right now, all through the years, have you managed to, you know, come across, you know, DJs that you look at and you're like, what this person is doing, yeah?
Oh, yeah, sure. So like, when I took it seriously, right, and I was like, you know what? So for me, being an architecture student helps me a lot as a DJ. I always say, because you know how they told us to approach problems, I applied it to my DJing, like in terms of research. Research is, you understand?
Bro, I feel like research, you know, being able to research, cut across every sector, every industry. If you know how to research.
Definitely.
Bro,
so I'll tell you this. So when second year, right, in uni, and we had this lecturer come and she was asking us, you know, if you're not going to study architecture, what would you like to do? And people said, I want to be a photographer, I want to be a photographer. I remember me saying I want to be a DJ and music producer. So like, DJ? So like, yeah. So okay. And I remember she said, you know what, right? Like, not all of you, right? So I remember saying, you know, like, not all of you sort of end up studying architecture, right? But the influence will show. And she was absolutely right, because I have friends that don't practice right now. And she said, not all of you will practice, but then the influence will show. I have a lot of photographers, interior designers, so many things, and they're excelling. And I feel like it's because of, how we're taught in school and how to approach problems. So I do that in how I arrange my music, from just basic things, that I arrange my music on my laptop from different genres, different things. So when I took it seriously, right, I know that radio was a big deal. Like I tell people, right, when I tell people I'm practicing, I don't just mean, oh, I'm DJing. I'm just listening to music. And I'm listening to other stuff from other people. Radio is a big deal. I remember one time a friend came into my car and she was like, this is a DJ's car. I expect you to be, banging and listening to radio. Radio is like one of the places where you get new music easily. And so for me, growing up, and when I first started my career, right, I used to listen to a lot of radio at night, DJ mixes. Shout out to DJ Case. DJ Case, Beat FM was, one of the influences. I mean, now he's a politician. It's funny. I even saw him last in Abuja, but DJ Case. I used to listen to DJ Neptune, Spinall. No, DJ Spinall was for his mixes. They were incredible. Like,
so I just want to interject. So, in case you guys do not know, the art of DJing basically started on radio. So, like what Toh Bahd is saying about radio is not a joke. It's really not a joke. That it birthed that entire art form. So yeah, that's
honestly, like, radio for me is, I used to listen to a lot of radio. I had my radio and my Shazam ready. Shazam wasn't even so big then, but yeah. So for me, it was DJ Case, DJ Neptune, DJ Spinall. His mixes were insane. Like, I was like, how can I be like this guy? In terms of like how he approached the music and mixing and stuff. And I remember 2013, I think, DSTV had this show I attended, and I met Neptune and Spinall. I can't forget. I have a picture. I mean, I'll show you the picture, right? I took a picture of them, and I was like, one day I'll get there soon. That picture is still on my IG. I feel like if you go through my IG, I didn't delete anything. Like, literally from when I started, so now everything is there. And it's funny how, fast forward last year, right? I had an event with Spotify.
I saw, yeah.
Exactly. And I was with DJ Spinall. Like, this is basically 8 years in the making. And I remember we were on stage together, right? And it was done with his set. And I was going to take over. And I was going to tell him to hold on. And I needed to make an announcement. And I told people the story. He didn't know. I didn't even tell him what I was going to do. So he was shocked as well. And he was, was like, yo, he gave me his number. Like, we should talk. Do you understand? Like, bro, like, I showed him. Like, yo. Because I showed him. I showed Sunday Array was there as well. And it's interesting because there's no shortcuts, right? So you have to do the work. Like, really.
So based on what you said, I want to ask like an interesting question. Mm-hmm. So if you were to build your perfect DJ in terms of taking traits from each of the DJs that you admire, how would you do that? What would you pick from who? Okay, so I would pick. So when it comes to music selection and like mixing, DJ Neptune is. So like growing up and listening to Neptune, right? Like growing up in my career, right? He knows how to. His music knowledge is insane. So you're listening to Afrobeats and there's a way he mixes like house music to it, and that's something I really liked, because growing up I was fortunate enough to be around my older cousins, and my music knowledge is thankful for that. I feel like a lot of DJs around my age now, they are limited. Wait, can we ask like how old you are?
Oh, I'm just 31.
Okay,
I'm just 31. So like, I can play different parties, from a 70th party to like Gen Z, because of my music knowledge and it's because of how I grew up. I grew up with older cousins that were listening to this thing and I picked up. So if you want me to switch 90s, I go 90s for like an hour straight. Regular songs, current songs, not a problem. And it's because of my music knowledge, like how I grew up. So for some people, they didn't have the opportunity, right? So it's a different case if you have to start learning how to listen to these songs, it becomes harder. But if it's something you've known growing up. So for me, that's why when I see people say, oh, I go to some DJs by and they say, oh, they're an Afrobeats DJ. That's fine. That's not a problem. But like, I know I'm very diverse and I can, so I'm not going to say, I'm not going to limit my DJing to a particular genre because I can do everything.
So song selection.
So song selection, Neptune. Okay. So when it comes to talking to the crowd and
charisma,
Spinall. Like Spinall is a superstar. He's not just a DJ, right? I remember one time he dropped the DJ from his name and it's just Spinall right now. Like Spinall is a superstar. So I feel like it's something I try to do. I don't know if you've been to South where I try to hold the mic and I try to, talk. Exactly. So initially it was a problem for me, like, just holding the mic and talking. It's a big problem. But now you get, again, as you grow in your career.
Practice.
But so that thing was from Spinall. Even at the Spotify thing, there's a way you talk to the crowd and, they respond.
Okay,
and
now I need to see Spinall perform.
Yeah,
I've never
you
seen
need
him
to.
perform.
Spinall. Spinall has gone. Like, Spinall is name, I don't even know. Like, I mean, I think it was in LA right now. There's just a way. It's DJing skills. I mean, those are the basic things. But like when it comes to like, talking to the crowd, energy from the crowd, Neptune is a bit quiet, right? It's not as,
outgoing.
So for me, music selection, mixing, Neptune, when it comes to charisma, style, Spinall is very stylish as well.
Yeah.
So it comes to Spinall. And then what else? I'm trying to see what else you need as a DJ, because I mean, if your music selection is good and you look good,
yeah, I think those are the two.
So like I feel like if you have an infusion of Spinall and Neptune. Now, so this consequence, right? So I feel like the closest you can get to, I won't say both, because consequence is a bit reserved. I've noticed it's more of a Neptune kind of DJ. So that's why I advise people to listen to all of them. Like, you can like, this guy can be your favorite. I don't have a favorite. I like them for certain things, right? So Neptune and Consequence are very similar in terms of their music collection. That they are super in that. So if you're going to say charisma, you could say Spinall and Big N.
Yeah, Big N.
Exactly. Big N too.
He has the energy.
I remember we were together for this Desperado event in Port Harcourt, and
please don't tell me the mistake you guys was as brothers or siblings.
Oh, definitely.
I just
not even siblings. Not even siblings. Like, sometimes I'm out, I'm like, DJ Big N. I've had where I'm like, I have to correct myself. And someone will say, I'm like, no, that's not Big N, that's Toh Bahd. Like, people correct themselves, you just stand. So like, so that one happens normally. So I feel like, so being a DJ, right, it's not compulsory you need to have that charisma, but it helps. People will like you. And once people like you, they'll remember you.
But I think that, that charisma, that ability to talk, to be able to relate with people is usually what kind of helps push DJs or, whoever is in that place towards stardom.
100%. I agree, because so when I first started, like I said, like, for me, when I tell people, I liked it initially when I tell people, I tell people my name, right? My regular name. And then maybe a friend comes, that's Toh Bahd. I'm like, that's you? Do you understand? So like, the face was not a thing. They just knew, that guy is a very good DJ. So like, back then, I liked that, DJ is good. But now, when you start talking on the mic, people will remember you because, that's DJ Toh Bahd. So when they see you outside, I still find it very strange when people come and meet me, like, can I get a picture? Remember, I'm like, why?
Toh Bahd.
No, I'm just saying, but like, for me, like, it's not, those things don't freak me, like,
So I personally, I feel like from the conversation, we've kind of answered this question on, but I want to ask, and I want you to be able to tell people, I know why, I know the answer to the question on a personal level, but I want to ask, like, what makes DJ Toh Bahd's sets unique? Like, what's the unique experience from a Toh Bahd set? Like, I know what I've felt, but I want you to
okay,
see
so for me,
for
me, I like to take people on a journey, right? So like, we all listen to music, I had a situation whereby I'm not just DJ, there are other DJs there, but you need to be able to be different. Yeah. So what I do is, I try to rope people in. So you don't know what's happening. Do you understand?
It's online.
So you don't know what's happening. I'm like, okay, what's this? Because I say a lot too, sometimes I search my name, I'm like, people are like, this guy didn't even let me sit down, that kind of thing. So like, I try to rope people in where you're not just playing the popular songs, you're not just playing the regular popular throwback songs. There's some songs where you listen to like,
classics.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Classics. They were banging songs then, but they were low key. But they were classics. Like, I'm gonna give examples.
Those who know
exactly. Like Black Magic's repertoire now. One time I played it and it was our South Socials and one guy literally went on his knees. Just that things, and I feel like for you to know things like that, right? Your music knowledge has to be on point, and you need to be. I was there when Backward was the thing. Do you understand? So I listen to Black Magic. I listen to regular people. Even Whiskey, right? I'll give you an example. Whiskey has regular throwbacks. Okay, I'll give you regular. The regular throwbacks are the Azonto, you know, things like that. But like, I was at a party where I played this Thank You, Make Me Dance, and then after that, exactly, and I switched to Zombie. Do you remember that Zombie freestyle? And people lost their minds. Do you understand? So these are the throwbacks, right? But I'm not. Do you get, so things like that. So I try to pick. So I take it on a journey, basically. That's what I do. That's why most times I like to start my set slow. You know, we're going on a journey. There's no need to rush. I'm here. You know, there we go.
That thing,
pick you up.
that thing you did at South December, that last South of December last year, that was criminal.
Which one? Honestly, I remember.
It's fine. It's fine. You don't remember me. I remember. I remember for you. Don't worry. That last South of December last year. At the part where
I think I remember. I came late.
At the part where towards the end, because like towards like I left when the party closed. Like that was how good it was. You were playing hip hop.
Exactly.
And the song selections. He would put in a song, and as it's going towards the end, that you're like, okay, let me catch my breath. Then he reloads it, and you're like, Toh Bahd, please. I want to
That's
sit
what I'm
down.
saying. So exactly. So like that's why I try my best when I start my set. Right, you can say I'm playing those songs now, enjoying it now. Because when I'm giving you guys back to back, you know, I've had crazy experiences.
I'm coming to that. But before I come to that, we've talked about, you know, what you're good at, you know, how amazing you are on set. But like, I also want to touch on the shortcomings, because I feel like to be able to, you know, grow, people have to be self-aware of their shortcomings. And even if like it's not something you fixed, but you know that this is an issue and you're working towards, like right now in your career as a DJ, do you think you have any shortcomings that you're trying to work on or trying to improve on?
Oh yeah. Oh, okay, so if we're going to say DJ wise, maybe scratching, which is not something like you.
Is that still a thing? Like, is scratching still a thing that DJs?
You know, so I'll give you a reference of football, right? You know, like nowadays footballers are a bit rigid. You know how we always talk about joga bonito, Brazilian.
Yeah.
It's just a skill. It's nice, you know. If you do it too much, it becomes a problem. But it's nice to know how to do it properly. Sometimes just, you know, I'm playing on an piano song and I just scratch it. It's something I would like to learn. And also, so I wouldn't say it's a shortcoming, it's more of a challenge, which I think is for most DJs. Keeping up now, it's a problem.
The
music.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
It's a big problem. So like, I feel like for me, that's a challenge I have now. When it comes to the skill and mixing, all those things are unlocked. But like, you need to start, you know, new music, it's so many things are coming out now. You need to be on top of your game. You need to be listening to new music. Like, you guys sent me a list now. I know some of the songs, but not everything. Just what I'm saying. And obviously some songs are like 5 days old, 6 days old. But like, for me, that's the shortcoming, I would say, because you need to always be. So sometimes the problem where I get where some people are like, oh, DJ, play new songs now. Now, you could be playing new songs from like a couple of months ago, and they're still saying, you know, play new songs. So you need to, you know, it's balance. It's a problem. And I don't think it's something you can master, right? Because music is changing, things are changing. Now, it's easy for people to just drop songs anyhow. There's TikTok, you know, so many things. And I feel like I'm at an age where I'm 31. You have people younger than you have people older than you. You're kind of like in between, you know, and, you know, you're getting older as well. So you don't want to be caught, you know, being like that guy's always playing old music.
Catch you off guard, man.
But for me, DJ wise, I would say scratching.
Fair
but
enough.
like, yeah. But generally, it's just.
I feel like that. I know there's a name for it, but I don't remember it right now. You know that what Dope Caesar does, like her transitions. I feel like transitions have kind of, you know, overshadowed that scratching thing. Like, people are a lot more focused on how good your transitions are.
Oh yeah, definitely, I agree. So like, and I always tell DJs, right? A lot of DJs come up, you know, messages, emails, and I tell them, right? See, the basic thing, like I said, scratching for me is because I'm these things are scratching exactly. Down. You see your transitions, right? That's the basic thing. That's the primary thing. Your music selection and your transitions are very, you know, primary. These are things you need to know how to do. And that's how I learned, you know, That's why for me, transitions are, I won't say they're easy. It's just, it looks easy because it's something I learned. I didn't rush it. There was a process, you know. You can't just make songs anyhow. You need to know the points. I was on YouTube a lot, you know. So shout out to DJ Kenny, right? So when I started, it was the guy I used to stay in my hood. I grew up in Ebitimesa, Maryland, sort of. So I didn't have a deck, right? So I go to the studio to practice, you know. So this was someone that, you know, helps me. Shout out to him. And so I was always on YouTube. I didn't really have a mentor, right? Where I had to be following someone up and down. I mean, I didn't have that. So it was just me being on YouTube and I used to practicing. As I tell DJs, like, you need to practicing is everything. I remember one time Dupes was saying, you need to practice. You know, now it's different, right? Where as a DJ, you need to evolve. Now you need to start pushing out content. These things are very stressful. Especially when you stay at the point where it wasn't really such a big deal. Where once you put out your mixes, I used to drop mixes a lot back in the day. Like, it was a thing for people. But now, again, because of work, you're stressed. You can't drop as much. Now people want content. You know, so content is a big deal. And that's why this transition thing now became a thing where you need to drop content. So people were like, oh, transition was mad. And then, so for me, I think maybe something I need to start doing where I have a lot of transitions. Like, but me, I'd rather do them in person. Like, so like the one on my Twitter right now, I did it in person. Like, I was at the party, not like I was in my studio. If I was in my studio, you know, it would have probably matter. But I did it live. I like doing my things live because that's what they're paying you for, right? It's like you as an artist, you're going to be singing DJ track one and just singing. That's why sometimes nowadays I look at all this side, you come and meet me, you tell me to play a track and the verse is there, the chorus is there. It makes no sense. Most of the time now, you have a performance track, you take out the verse, you sing it live, and maybe the chorus you can leave it there fine. So I feel like as a DJ as well, it's something. So I mix my things live. So that's the experience. That's what makes it, you know.
That's what's up. My next question is, what are the common myths? Is there like, because I'm not sure if I've heard like any, but again, you're more in there than I am. But are there any myths that you feel like, you know, you need to address about surrounding DJs and the DJ community in Nigeria?
Myth. Let me see, myth. First of all, I'm going to say it's not easy, right? And I would say it's a common misconception that Nigerians do. First of all, they look down on DJs. That's like a basic thing where it's not just to press play. And it's funny because when I say like DJs now, you know, maybe they started 1 year, 2 years ago, they're doing big gigs. I'm so glad for them because back in the day, it wasn't like that. Like you had to, I carried speaker, I connected speaker, you know. Some DJs don't even know how to do these things, you know. I did everything, you know, back growing up, and it's a lot of work. One of the myths is not a job. It is a job, right? It's a business, you know. I know when you go to the office and you work 9 to 5, it feels like you're working for somebody, right? That person, that's his business. So imagine me, you know, I have a staff, you know, they work for me. They will go home and say they work for the After Party Entertainment. They are doing that job, that's what I'm saying. So it's a job. Initially for me too, it was challenging. Especially because I was in a circle where I had friends go to proper schools, have proper jobs. I can never forget this girl. I thought I was a DJ. She's like, she doesn't understand. And it was the way, you know, if you're saying, oh, I don't understand what you mean, it was like, excuse me. Or one of my cousin's wives, I'm not going to mention her name, she was like, is that what you're going to feed your family? And I was like, how? You know, these things, again, it's a different case when you come up and things were very hard and DJing was an escape for you. It wasn't like that for me, right? It wasn't like that. So you can, if you don't have a job, get you a job. Just what I'm saying.
I guess.
Exactly. So, like, are you being for real right now? And then, obviously, now all of them have warmed up and, you know, it's a job. DJs make money. Yeah. I'm not going to say, like, every DJ is making a lot of money, but
obviously, like, not all musicians make money. Exactly. Not all people in every sector.
And I'm going to tell people, right, if you see a DJ somewhere, he's making money. You know, it's a different case when you invite an artist or up and coming, they get on stage at concerts, they perform, you know, they sing. Most times it's probably free. They need the exposure. DJs, if you see them there, they're collecting something. My first gig, you paid me 20K. I can't forget. I was in Lag. It was a very popular, she was in law, she was a popular girl. It was in her house. to pay me 20,000 naira. I think I paid for sound 10K or something, and I took 10K home. Or even one of the speakers even blew at the party. So like it was chaotic, just that. But like that's DJs get paid. Like
So this
it's
brings
a job.
me, this brings me to another question. Reminds me of a tweet that I saw recently. I'm not sure if you saw that tweet. It was from I think Dio Dotun talking about how artists have become too expensive these days and how hype men.
But right,
and
I saw that.
DJs
I mean, I didn't want to comment that day because I wanted to see what everybody was saying about it, right?
I saw. Shout out to DJ Titanium, by the way. I saw his tweet. I saw his tweet, and he was like, when they try to book DJs for shows in Nigeria, they don't want to give them the full money. They want to try and like shortchange them.
Yeah.
And like, it's just not just music you're playing. So like, I want to hear your thoughts on how the industry currently treats DJs and how you feel like, things should be done.
Okay, so I feel like, now things are a bit better from when I started, right? But it's still not where it should be. I saw it. Someone said, you're waiting for this artist to come, but it's the MC and the DJs that are keeping people, Exactly. So another thing is, most people don't like to give DJs the full information. Because if I get the full info of something, of an event.
Can you give me an instance?
So like, they just tell you, we just need for like maybe 1 hour, just come and play. Like how they will book you for a show now, like when an artist is coming. Or just need for like maybe 1 hour or 2 hours, just come and play for us while the artist comes. And then 5 hours, the artist is not there. Do you understand? And they always know these things. They know, And that's why I encourage you to start charging per hour, right? Because once you start charging per hour, they will know what they are doing. So whether you don't play or not, they will pay that money. Do you understand?
DJ tip. You've given Toh Bahd dropped a very nice tip for you guys now. So
honestly,
per hour.
Start charging per hour for events. It's a help, especially when it comes to industry events. For weddings, you can be a bit flexible, right? Because weddings, I like weddings. They're ready to spend money. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I have that.
And for me, right, and I'm grateful for that because I didn't start as an industry kind of DJ, right? I started from the wedding industry. So coming into the industry, I was a bit settled. So if I'm talking to you, right, or if you're talking to me, you're not going to be talking to me like, I have
respect.
I'll give you an example, right? So it was Tenny. Tennis management team, they wanted me to be tennis DJ. But I knew there was going to be a problem. And they knew as well. So I get gigs too. I'm busy as well. So the issue was they might need me somewhere and I'm working somewhere else. Do you understand? And for me at that point, I liked it because it was going to be, I wasn't going to be, that's tennis DJ Toh Bahd. I would have been, that's DJ Toh Bahd, tennis DJ.
Yeah.
Do you understand? There's a difference. Exactly.
Big difference.
There's a very big difference.
Your name is preceding your job.
Exactly. So that's which, I was sad, but what can I do? I get busy too,
That's fair.
But like that's the thing. So I always tell DJs, right? It's very hard trying to get the right amount you want them to pay you. I feel like everybody's underpaid. That's how I always say everybody's underpaid, right? So good communication skills will help you, bargain better.
Well, yeah, sorry. Okay, go on.
You'll be bargain better. Obviously, whoever is contacting you is a big deal as well. Do you understand? So the basic thing is they know you're good. Once they know you're good, that's your leverage, right?
Yeah.
They know you're good.
True.
But also, you're not a really good DJ. But also, there are not a lot of good DJs.
But there are box of DJs.
Exactly. Another thing is, most of these planners and event people, nobody likes stress. If they know you can do the job, they'll rather stick with you.
Yeah.
So that's why sometimes I see people always say, they like using DJ too much. The DJ knows what they want, what is expected. So, and he does a good job. So they're fine with that. So, if you can have your clientele, that helps.
I can't even lie. Yeah, that thing you said makes sense. Even on the audience back end, like I'm going to use like South as an example. So like once I'm going to the party and I hear like, Toh Bahd is playing, say less.
So yeah, so there's this thing where there's this misconception that DJs should be charging less because of what they used to bring, what they do. Equipment is expensive. As photographers always talk about how this lens is very expensive. Yeah. It's the same thing for DJs. So if I'm going to spend a lot of money on buying equipment, to make sure that your event goes well, you need to pay me well. It's just normal. These speakers are not cheap. They are not cheap at all. So you need to pay well. And on this where DJs should fill the void, we've been doing it. It's not a new thing. It's not new. Like there's nothing special. The only thing that needs to change now is the fee. We've been doing this thing. We've been holding down these events for these artists come for eons. It still happened at Rema's event. It's not everybody's event. Just what I'm saying. It's a normal thing. You know, before they come, DJs want entertaining the crowd. So we've been doing it. We're just saying, okay, now we've been doing this thing. Just pay us what you should be paying us. That's what it is. It's nothing new. Like that's why I didn't want to, say anything on the conversation. Like it's not a discovery. Like now DJ should. We've been there. Yeah. We've always been there. MCs have been there. Do you understand? So pay us better.
So I also want to, speak about this. Like, I don't think most people realize how important DJs are towards pushing music and pushing Nigerian music and pushing Afrobeats to the world. Because there are times where at a party or at an event, a DJ will play a song and then more than half of people in that crowd are bringing out their phone to Shazam that song and be like, who's this person? Who's that? Like we need to start giving them their flowers. So like I'm going to let you speak on
and that's what I'm going to say. Like again, with this is nothing new. Obviously, with streaming services, things that is easy for you to now pick up your phone and listen to music. Back in the day, if you didn't go out, you won't know what's happening. If you didn't buy CDs, you won't know what's happening. If you didn't listen to radio, you won't know what's going on. I remember growing up, Rick D's Top 40. I don't know if you know what that is.
I feel like if you understand exactly how you don't know Rick D's Top 40.
Rick D's Sundays. I mean, I went to a boarding school. Like we used to sneak in, sneaking these devices to listen. So like, these are the things you listen to, right? I mean, like I said, DJing started from radio, So it's always been there. We've always been in the forefront of pushing music. I would give you an instance, right? Not Afrobeats, but it was Shaggy. Do you know who Shaggy is?
Yeah.
So this song,
Mr. Lover.
Yeah, Mr. Lover. I think it was this song. It wasn't me, right?
I saw that story. Yes.
So he said, he brought it out. It wasn't doing well. Then he went to one of these islands.
Oh, why? It was an Hawaiian DJ that played it.
And when he played it, and he started getting a lot of, calls. Can you play that song again? Who sang that song? So like, yes, now we have a lot of streaming services and everything, but DJs are still very important. You still go out. Human beings generally were social beings, right? So like you can listen to music in your house as much as you want, but you still want to go out.
Also, I just want to say like the difference between that thing that you said that streaming, there's streaming and you can easily get music, but there's a difference between listening to music in your house and that same song, hearing it at a party.
Thank you.
Where the DJ
honestly, it's a different
thing.
You know when because you are in a setting where the music is banging, the sub is hitting, alcohol is hitting, so like you are in a trance. And this song drops. And it's like, what is that? It's like sometimes I give a reference where when you're watching a movie as well, you know how they use soundtracks in movies?
Yes.
It happens to me a lot where, what song is that? It just goes well with the scene and exactly. I could listen to that same song somewhere else and I'm like, what is this?
Exactly.
So like, it's very important, honestly.
So now I want to ask about your experiences DJing. So I want you to tell me the story about like your funniest. Let me think about what I want to pick. If your funniest or your wildest, I'll do a combination of both. Your funniest or wildest experience that you've had so far in your career as a DJ.
Okay, so I think I went to tell you one time. Right, so I'm at a wedding here. I'm DJing and I see a girl, she's panicking. My phone. When I said that, carry that phone. No more. I expect her to, come and meet the MC, then we reduce the music. Go, please, we're looking for. Of course, which she did, the MC did that, but she was still panicking. I said, you know what? I fell for her because, it's Lagos now. So then we bring out the music again and then we announce, but it's a party.
Yeah.
The music has to go on. The phone is probably in a ballet there already. Just what I'm saying, but like, yeah. And then she's still, she's upset. She's screaming. Her friend starts calm down. And then she starts walking towards my deck, right? But then again, I was still like, looking at her with sad face, sorry. And then she walks behind me, right? And she goes to where the consoles are. And I was looking at her like, what you got what to do? And next thing, her friend was like, stop. She's like, no. And next thing, she just starts pulling the plugs, the XLR cables. She starts pulling out all the XLRs. Like, music just stops. I was shocked. Like, so basically, this XLR cable, she removed everything. And music went off. I couldn't move. So the thing is, I think my engineer was, maybe they were so, it was just a crazy, and she started shouting. And the MC flipped out. Like, what the hell? How can you stop the music and everything?
Insane.
It was insane. I couldn't, all this while, like, I wasn't moving. It was guests that were like, trying to get her to move away. Some people were shouting on her. That's called the bounce out, usher her away from there. I couldn't move. I could not believe it. She unplugged every single thing.
The disrespect.
And my phone, you know what? To be honest, I felt really bad for her because you know how much iPhone is nowadays. At someone's wedding, you don't even know. So you're a friend, just like you're a friend of a friend that they invited to a wedding, and then
I get it though, but like still.
The MC was flipping out. Like, what the hell? It was, I could not believe it. Some people even thought, oh, maybe the party was done. Because it was around 10-ish, and we were meant to be there till 12. Some people thought it was done. DJ, what happened? Because DJ, what's going on? I couldn't even talk. I was just like, wow. She unplugged it. Just because I saw her walking down, right?
But you wouldn't imagine that's exactly what's about to happen.
Going on? I looked at her, what are you trying to do? And she unplugs everything. Comfortably the wildest. Like, nothing like that. Comfortably the wildest.
Oh my goodness!
Honestly, she unplugged everything.
So like, I know like you kind of lean into weddings as some of your favorite venues, but like, the way artists or musicians have that one stage they aspire to perform on. Do you also have that? Is there a bigger is there a place where you consider like this is the biggest stage of my life? Like this is where I'm looking at that. I want to play here.
I mean, you could say Coachella or Ibiza. That would be,
But when you're saying this Coachella Ibiza, it's not sounding like,
that would be
like is your...
So, we say with stuff like this, right? It's, you have to be lucky. I'm going to say you have to be very lucky because I look at, and sometimes you can work so hard for things and they might not align. And that's okay. It happens. You can understand. So, you need to be in some certain situations for some things to happen. I'll give an example. Like, SL DJ? That's Rema's DJ, right?
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, he's DJing at the O2. Things like that. Do you understand?
I get what you mean.
Just what I'm saying. So there's some things that
need to just align.
They need to align.
Yeah.
And, do you understand? Sometimes we make our luck, no doubt, but some things just need to align. And like I said, for me, the way I've been DJing, how my DJ career is going for me, things have been aligning. So if it aligns, fine. So it's...
But so far so good. With places you've DJed in, what would you say has been the highlight of your venues and experience as a DJ? What is that one party or that one event that you like, this event, this was a madness and I feel like this was...
There are plenty.
I'm a joke. God when. God when.
I mean, last year and this year. So like... Okay, so I did Davido's, so we did something for Davido, right? Davido's, it was like a concert, Davido's fans concert. This was in December, after the whole thing that happened, and, Davido was off the grid for a minute.
Yeah.
And people were missing him, right? And the fans came together. Yeah. They organized. So I got a message that, oh, can you come and DJ for us? And of course, like, we don't have money. I mean, it's for Davido, of course, for free, like, no doubt. So everybody came there. It was at Meko Atlantic. I mean, I expected a huge turnout, but the crowd was something else. Like, So we get on stage and I started playing Davido's songs. So it was Dotto and I. Even though after that event I got dragged, a funny story, but it was more like a miscommunication, but like, yeah, it was insane. We had this thing where I told them like the lights guys put off all the lights and everyone should be on their phones and I played Electricity.
Oh, wow.
Exactly. So that was, for me, it was...
That was something beautiful.
Exactly. It was insane. And, it was nice that, Davido acknowledges. It was nice.
Oh,
he did. And when he came out to talk about
nice.
the album, like, you guys did a concert for me. And that was great. Like, for me, it was like over 2,000 people. It was insane. And I was like, what's there? I'm good at this thing. Like, this is.
Yes, I get that.
And even with the Spotify thing, right? So for me, it was from the event planner and I got introduced to the Spotify crew. And again, the thing is, I always like, they don't know who you are, right? And the only way you can show them who you are is by doing a good job. They'll remember you. They will remember you, right? So, it's been, and I went for Big Brother as well, which that was interesting because it was a bit challenging for me where there were just 6 housemates. inside the house, and the party room was quite small, and we were 6. So for me, it was mentally challenging because you're DJing for 6 people, right? They tell you people are watching outside, but you as a DJ,
you're not
right?
seeing the people.
Exactly, you as a DJ, you feed off energy, right?
Yeah.
So shout out to Lebai because that babe, she was the star of the night, and she won. Congratulations to her, Lebai Adekunle and Cross.
They're giving you,
exactly
feeding you, giving you.
I mean, shout out to CC2 Sha, but because the energy was on and off. But yeah, it was good. It was good for me. Like, it was a nice platform for me, to be honest. But like, it was shout out to Big Brother. But yeah,
okay.
It was
just more of a personal question.
Mm-hmm.
What is the one thing people misunderstand the most about you as an individual? That might also maybe affect you career wise, but if not, also just as an individual, what's the most misunderstood thing?
Well, people think I'm a snob.
Actually, I can't even lie. That's true. I can't even lie. You have that energy. I can't even lie. I cannot lie.
That's if you don't know me, which is
fair enough. Like, but still, though, like I get where they're coming from. I don't know why.
But like so basically they think I'm a snob and I'm more just rich kids. I'll just be But for me, I find that strange because you think I'm a snob, right? But then you see people that I know how they talk to me, right? And the energy is, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. When people say that, is it because I'm always on glasses or the way I look, or
I don't know. Maybe I think it's because, like, but then again, I don't expect you to act any other type of way. Like, you're coming into a show, you're kind of focused on what you're trying to do. I get it. I get where you're coming from. And I also get why people can feel
this
that
DJ
way.
thing, right? It's just like now, like, things have changed. You have to be out there. You have to do interviews. You have to, like, I just want to do my own thing. Because sometimes people always say, oh, we don't see you outside. Like, you're not out if you're not working.
Yeah.
So before, that used to be a good thing. But nowadays, you need to be out there. People just know your name.
Yeah.
So that's something that I'm really struggling to, to be. Because for me, let me just do my work and go home. I'm go to my house. Like, that's it,
Tohbahd is over 30, please. He wants to go and sleep.
So it's always been like that, right? I just do my work and I go home. And so the thing is, maybe I try to be professional as possible, right? Mm-hmm. Because you can have all the skill in the world, but if you're not professional,
yeah,
it takes you nowhere.
Interpersonal relationships, yeah,
exactly.
That's very important.
So, and Nigerians do this thing where, like, how they see you. Your appearance is a big deal. Mm-hmm. Like, I remember one time I went for an event, and this was a couple of years ago, and one of the guests, I think he walked past and said, oh, is that a MacBook? I was like, yeah, that's a MacBook. And he's like, oh, I'm sure you're a good DJ. And I'm like, how do you know that?
Let me just say, if you meet those DJs with their HP, with the HP,
I'm telling you, with the HP, and like there's a crack on
the screen is giving. Let them catch you at a party.
Like, so like, I remember I was like, how do you even know that? Or so many times where I go to an event, I like wearing trousers to weddings.
Mm-hmm.
It's just my thing. And then I'm walking in, I'm like, oh size. I'm like, oh, I'm a DJ. I'm like, oh, you don't look like a DJ. Oh no, not that. They say you don't look like a DJ. And I'm like, what does that mean? Excuse me, how are DJs meant to look? Like, we're human beings, we just play music. Like, I don't know, maybe because I don't have to have a mohawk or I have to have dye my beard. Like,
I have a face tattoo.
Do you understand? Well, I mean, so, there's this thing where they try and, when it comes to like dressing and like lifestyle, mm-hmm. they try and group DJs and artists together. So they expect you to be crazy in quotes, you understand, be doing wild things. No, we're regular people, it's a job.
Well, I guess this is where like branding comes into play.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then even at that brand now, I don't know, do you expect them to start? I don't know, man. I feel like, yes, branding is nice, but at the end of the day, number one, branding should be your skill. Like, you can do the job.
Fair enough.
You can dress fine, you look fine, you go there now, you're playing nonsense.
So my other question is, I've never seen you play a bad set or a terrible set before, like something bad happened. But like, I'm sure throughout your careers, it's unavoidable because first of all, you're a human being. Second of all, you're in Nigeria.
Yeah.
You're in Nigeria, so so what have you ever had an experience where things have gone against you to the point where it becomes so embarrassing? You're like, Jesus Christ, what is this? What's going on today?
For me, generally, it's always, with DJs, the number one problem always have is sound. And I always tell people, right? You can see my guy is laughing. I always tell people, right? Like, no matter how good you are as a DJ, if that song is bad, you're a bad DJ. Period. There's nothing you want to play. So most of the time, for me, is sound. I have had instances where I'm DJing a wedding, the couple are coming in, the sound will now go off. Hey. Why didn't it go off when their friends were dancing in? Why is it when the couple were coming in? Do you understand what I'm saying? These are things that affect you as a DJ, you know, and it's beyond your control. Mm-hmm. Now, when it comes to skill, is music. And I always tell DJs, you know, sometimes people feel bad. Like, we are a couple of people in this room. I can be playing music and not everybody will feel it. And you as a DJ, you need to be okay with that. Mm-hmm. Not everybody will like your music. It's a different case if they are saying, oh, this is bad, his mixing is rubbish. That's a different case. But like, oh, I'm not really feeling the music today. That's a different case as well. Just what I'm saying. Yeah. I've had instances like that for sure. I remember, Big Brother, that one, when my star said, Toh Bahd, you know that there's nothing you want to do. You cannot please everybody, right? Yeah. So if anything should go wrong, whether it's you that did it or not, they will drag you to. Mm-hmm. So like, after Big Brother, I get online, you know, people are like, oh, DJ was bad. Everybody say, who is this DJ? Who is this one? This DJ is terrible. The whole party is nonsense. Where is the other housemates? So many things. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. It's a different case. And where, I remember one guy said, I'm not really feeling this DJ Toh Bahd, right? And I remember, I replied that to him and I said, oh, I'm so sorry. Hopefully, if you see me at the next party, you know, hopefully I impress you. And it's funny because this party was, the wedding, the thing was on Saturday, right? Mm-hmm. I had a gig the next day at Landmark. It's called Fire and Sand. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I DJ, it was nice, and I get home, and I get a picture from this same guy on Twitter. He takes a picture of me. I was like, oh, wow, like, he had a blast today. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like, you know, things like, and it's funny because it was literally the next day. You know what I'm saying? Literally the next day. Exactly. So, like, as South, it's normal. Like, you can't please everybody. You know, just do your best. And again, like I said, if they come and tell you that, oh, your mixing wasn't good, that's something you need to work on. Mm-hmm. But if they're not feeling the music, it's some things that are beyond your control. It's music, it's a feeling, right? If they're not feeling, they're not feeling it. Mm-hmm. So you there's nothing you can do about that.
So I want to ask like a quick fire question. Like, do you have a song that you play every single time you perform? You have a song that every single time you perform, you must play that song.
When you the kick, yeah, that song. Do I like that song, right? So not just the beats, the intro, that ding, 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 ding. And I like doing it because I like playing it when maybe you said I'm going to mix something, right? Yeah, okay, yeah. Anyways, I like mixing it when I like to drop the music and people respond to a particular part of the song. Yes. So let me give you an example. Like this Ashake's Mr. Money now. Mm-hmm. So me, I know the cap. Me, I know the form. My energy. And do you understand? So
I see and I hear the vision.
Do you get? So like when the beat comes in, people are lit, and I don't joke with that song. That's my jam from the beats. You know, that's one song I'll always play for you for sure.
Yeah, that's fair.
The Kick. Fair. Yeah, when Nicole and Don Jazzy.
I have a last question though. Like, is there a song that you never play?
Like I never play.
You never there's a popular song where you feel like you just never play it in your set because it's not for you.
So now the thing is for DJs, right? Mm-hmm. You need to be very flexible, and that's why I said DJing for me helped me not just as a DJ, like I mean as a person as well, and how I see the world. You need to be open-minded, right? So I remember when Soapy came out, it's like, what's in with this? What was this? I remember
the streets loved it, dude.
I was like, I mean, at that point, I liked NM at that point, you know. So, but I was like, waiting be this, you know, and there was this whole controversy going on at that point with the, you know, Yahoo Boy and him and Simeon. It's like, what's this? But the thing is, you're at a party, you're a DJ, right? Mm-hmm. People. So it was that song and Cash App. I didn't understand the buzz on Cash App for me at that point.
I'm offended. I am offended.
That's what I'm saying. So now we think with Cash App is I play it, right? I'll play it, I'll know when to mix it. But like, and people are losing their mind, and I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But so like I said, as a DJ, right, you need to know how to be open-minded to help you. You can't. You're not the guest. Like, you need to know how to. Your emotions are very important. So I may not like a song, but they want it. and then you play it. So I don't have to definitely bop to it, but you play it. So it means I have to listen to the song sometimes on my own to know when to. So yeah, I might not necessarily like it. So that's why. But I always say that there's no such thing as a terrible song. You just don't like it. Yeah. That's my own as a personal DJ, preference. Right? That's just my personal preference. It's not bad. You just don't like it because now you get on TikTok and there are a lot of sounds. So many things are going on. Like it would be the funniest thing that goes viral. I mean, I was at Hard Rock on Friday. I DJed at South, you know. And my intro was "I greet you, bros." Emigrate
Everybody was going
exactly. Emigrate bros. That was my intro, and people loved it. That's what I'm saying. You know, so like music is very. That's why when I see Nigerians talk about how your music doesn't have lyrical content, you are saying nonsense. It's music. Like that's the basic thing, right? How it makes me feel. That's the basic thing. Every other thing is secondary. Whether you're rapping, I don't care.
Okay, so my question is, what is the one thing you want people, general public, to know before booking a DJ? Like, what's the one thing people should always have in the back of their mind when they're trying to book DJs? So like that, would also that people are usually blind to and would also help, the relationship or whatever is going on, be achieved, or whatever goal it is, like, be achieved.
Okay, so I feel like, timing is a big deal. So like you need to, you're paying for that time. That's yes, it's skill, but is that time really? So it's something you need to consider. And then again, equipments are not cheap. And you need to realize that it's a party. I'm going to say this right. So most people, they call you and they tell you, oh, I'm having a small event. It's just 5 people, And then someone else calls you, oh, I'm having an event. It's 1,000 people. But the bottom line is, it's a party. Yeah. So whether there are 5 people, or there are 10 people, or there are 1 million people,
same time,
it is a party. Yeah. You want me to play jams for you to dance. Yeah. Same way the people that are 1,000 want me to play. So that's the basic thing. So don't be telling me that, oh, it's 5 people. It's a party. You want me to come and DJ at your party. Do you understand? So you need to consider that it's coming to DJ for you at the party, not that the guests are 20 people. Because they're going to dance as well. So you need to consider that. So when they're giving you price, it's not that they're trying to be mean, or you don't say, oh, it's just 5 people now. It's a party. So remember that you're doing a party. Yeah. First of all, whether it's just you wanting to dance in a room or you're 1 million people, it's a party. So when they're giving you price, you need to understand.
That's fair. Yeah. Okay, guys, we've come to the end of our show, and it's been a blast. I've had like a really fun conversation with DJ Toh Bahd. Like, I knew I've always known he had the personality, but like seeing this side of him, hearing his story, hearing that he had the Ajabota grow up. There was no streets in there, so like yeah. And I just want to let you know that DJ Toh Bahd will be creating an amazing mix for us. And in case you do not know, Mdundo is the home of DJ mixes. So like every single day we release DJ mixes, and for this edition of Freshout, we have Toh Bahd giving us a mix that it's going to be amazing, and I really can't wait for you guys to listen and check it out. Thank you.